You want life, gonna bring you to your knees.
Continuing on from our backbending sequence, we're going to start off with a forearm balance today. So this is not a beginner posture, but you can try it up against a wall if you like to give it a go. I'm going to come into down dog and then bring the elbows to the floor. I'm just lifting the legs up one at a time. Either bring the feet to the wall, or if you're free balancing, trying to keep the shoulders directly over the elbows regardless of whether you're using a wall or not. Once you've got the balance, you can bend the knees and keep the big toes together as you bring them towards the head for scorpion. With the legs straight, this is called Pincha Mayurasana or Peacock feather. This takes a fair bit of practice, so be patient with yourself. Come back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, come into child's pose, buttocks to heels. Bring the palms of the hands together in front of the heart. We're going to twist now to neutralise the spine after that forearm balance, because it is quite a back bend, even though you do want to avoid too much of a severe bend through the lower back. So we bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee to twist, looking out over the right shoulder. After a few breaths, coming back to the centre and swapping sides, keeping the heart space open, elongating the spine, allowing the spine to spiral like a corkscrew, freeing up each articular joint. Come back to the centre, and then come into tabletop, make your way back into downward facing dog. Coming to sitting at the top of your mat. We'll move into some twists now to further neutralise the spine. So bring the left heel to the outside of the right hip and the right foot to the outside of that left knee. Inhale, lift the left arm high, and exhale, twist to the right. Gently bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Keep the spine tall, ground through the sit bones. Look out over the right shoulder and breathe. Breathe into the belly. Optional, you can straighten the arm, take a hold of that left knee, or take the bind. Just make sure you don't put too much strain on your left shoulder, simply to take the bind. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale to de-rotate. Twist out to the opposite direction, creating an open twist, wringing out the organs like a dirty face cloth. Inhale, come back to the center. Release the feet, give them a little bit of a hug. You can come into cosmic egg or Navasana boat pose, and then come into the twist on the opposite side. Right heel to the left hip, left foot outside the right knee. You can either create an open twist by twisting to the right, or inhale, lift the right arm, right elbow to outside of the left knee and twist to the left. Stretching the muscles and fascia around the waist and ribcage, we're increasing the mobility of the lungs and diaphragm, so improving our respiratory capacity. Again, taking any variation with those hands in the twist that you like. Breathe into the belly, keep the spine long. After about 5 breaths, inhale, come back to center, and exhale, de-rotate, look out over the right shoulder. Inhale, return to center. Release the legs and come down to lying on your mat. Bring the arms at shoulder height. We're going to cross the right leg over the left now. Trying to double bind the legs if possible by bringing that right foot behind the left calf. Don't worry if you can't quite double bind. Shift the pelvis over to right, and on the exhalation, move the knees to the left. Trying to keep the knees at around belly button height. Look out over the right fingers. Returning the organs to their original position. And allowing fresh blood to purify, massage and tone the entire visceral system. Come back to center after 5 breaths, and then double binding the legs the opposite way, coming into eagle legs. Shift the hips to the left and exhale. Bring the knees to the right. Help the knees to the floor with the right hand and look over to the left fingers. So our first priority is to get the knees on the floor, and then once you've got that, you can try to flatten that left shoulder blade on the ground. 5 deep breaths, soft belly. And when you're ready, inhale, come back to center. Release the legs and give them one last hug. Today we're going to make some yummy veggie chips. So all I've done is just chopped up some sweet potato as thinly as you can. If you have a mandolin, use one of those. I've got some parsnip here and some beetroot, and you can use other things like pumpkin or white sweet potato. Try to avoid normal white potato if you can. The more colourful the root vegetable is, the more vitamins and minerals it's going to have in it. You want to preheat the oven to about 180 to 200 degrees. You want it a pretty hot oven because the faster things can cook, the more crispy they're going to be. I'm just going to lay them out and dress them all in the same tray. So I'm going to try to give them a little bit of breathing space so they can become nice and crispy. So I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil just to dress them, keep them, yeah. And then you can put any kind of flavourings you want on it. So of course I like to put my powdered chilli in. You can put some pepper if you like. If you have agave nectar, chuck a bit of that in. Salt. And what I like to do is put just a little bit of whole grain mustard in. This imparts a sweet, tangy flavour. And if you like, put a little bit of garlic on top as well. Just chopped up finely. Once you've got all your ingredients in the pan, just make sure you have clean hands before you do this. You're going to really massage all those yummy flavours into the vegetables. Make sure everything's evenly coated. Get right into it. So I'll just pop those in the oven. Make it a nice hot oven. And fast if you can. Keep an eye on it. We'll probably let it cook for around 15 minutes or so, and then I'll check on it to make sure the edges are brown. So now we're going to make some yummy dips to put our veggie chips in.